finally got to read the first chapter of Beyblade X, and this is thanks to Kyo, Sankey and Skysh for making it possible, as there is no official English translation yet. And my thoughts, I think the story had a great start and it is as comparable as the original series' first episode. It's not at all bad. This is a story where pro bladers compete in the X Tower to get to the top and face the champions. And this tower is also X shaped, and surprisingly there are going to be many X's involved in the story. Okay, and the chapter begins with the X Tower champions, Team Pendragon, whose leader is Chrome Ryugu, and surprisingly enough he has the trans sword, which we already knew belongs to this guy, but he has it for now. And there is also a female blader in this team and is possibly a strong blader too. The story moves forward a month later and we see the amateur blader Kazami Bird, who has a bay called Strike Hawk. Well, and not very shocking, but just like Volt, Bird also loses his first match of the series with an over finish, and the one he was fighting against literally crushes his Beyblade, which is quite brutal for a first chapter. This is just brutal for Beyblade. After this, Bird recalls his childhood memories that playing with Bays used to be so fun, and his team members also tell him to quit. We then see this guy suddenly talking to Bird and asks him if he wants to be teammates with him. He introduces himself as Kamen X and he goes to challenge the guy who just destroyed Bird's Strike Hawk. They again start to mock Bird, but Kamen X stands up for him and asks the guy to quit Beyblade too. This was actually interesting, and they begin the Bay battle as Team Persona. Team Persona is Kamen X with trans sword and Bird Kazami with no bays, bayless as it was written in the chapter. They face Team Phalanx, which consists of Sayo Genri, Ishiyama Takumi, Jinnai Bariki, and they also have Beyblades of their own, which is quite surprising. They have their own names: Iron Forest, Stone Mont Blanc, Diamond Nuts. What are these names? This is not in real life, right? This is something new. So maybe these are filler Beyblades, I guess. And the first match now begins. Kamen X faces Geni Sayo, and he wins with an instant over finish in the blink of eye, which was actually surprising for me, and I was shocked. Ishiyama then fights with Kamen X next, but obviously this match wasn't that quick as the previous one. Ishiyama says his Stone Mont Blanc is a defense type and going up against high speed attack types is its speciality. Kamen X told him Beyblade is for fun, but Ishiyama declares he's been training for 10 years and it is the result of his life's work. Kamen X says he never thought of Beyblade as work, and at this moment I really started to like Kamen X as a blader. And next we see Trans Sword changing its trajectory, and Kamen shows everyone the X which he was talking about, and Trans Sword goes through the rails and extreme dash, knocking Ishiyama's way out of the stadium. Team Persona wins. Bird asks Kamen who he is and reveals himself as the blader known as X Kurosu. X Cross, I guess. He literally says X Kurosu, but I think it's X Cross. Okay, so for this video I'm calling him X Cross. Bird realizes that he is a member of Team Pendragon along with Chrome Ryugu. Cross says that he left that team because he wants to face Chrome in a Bay battle, and to do that he has to climb the X Tower once again. He plans to hide his face with a mask and aim for the top as a different person. Cross asks Bird to be teammates with him. Bird thinks that if I join with him, I have a feeling that I can become strong too. And with this the chapter ends. So my personal thoughts, now that the story feels much mature compared to Burst, and it yet has to introduce us to so many characters and the story, and I sense that it has a lot of potential, as the author is same as Kakeguri's, which is quite a successful and popular anime series. I did like X Cross's character, and he's kinda like Shu, who was on a different level since the beginning of the series. I think in this chapter there were quite a few filler Beyblades. What I mean is these Beyblades aren't produced in real life, but let's see how it works out. Maybe they'll release it sometime later next year, or maybe they won't release at all. I am really excited for the upcoming chapters. The art style is so good, and I'm hyped for the new characters and Beyblades they will be revealing. Nanaira Multi and some other characters. I wonder what Chrome's actual Beyblade will be, since he was borrowing Grand Sword for the battle which was shown in this chapter. And also, how does Bird get his new Beyblade, which is Hell's Scythe? Maybe he goes to someone who forges Beyblades or is a mechanic. And that is all we get to know from this chapter and from my side, my review. And that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of the story as of chapter 1? Do you like it or hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.